So what's the deal with home affordability? The headlines out there keep telling people that home prices are going up through the roof and that it just is impossible to purchase a home right now, or that homes are just out of reach or unaffordable for most people. Well, today I wanted to kind of break that down and dispel some of those myths and share some facts about what really is going on with home prices, why home prices are where they're at, and truly what it means when homes are either affordable or not. First thing that I wanted to illustrate is simply where home prices are right now. And I wanted to bring your attention to this first chart here, which shows that historically homes will increase on average about 4% in value year over year. Like, that's pretty consistent. And you can see that for the longest time, the line there, it just kind of followed along that line and it just kind of did what was expected. And then we saw a bump in the early part of the 2000s, around 2006, where home values started. And now, fast forward to current situation, we're actually only 7% above that trend line. So as that trend line has continued to go up and the market has recovered from the Great Recession and moving into the current situation, going through a pandemic, all of those things, home prices have continued to increase now, but as you can see, we're not that far above that average historical trend line that we expect to see. What's driving the current price situation in the market? And this is both locally here in the greater Madison area and really nationwide. Inventory. Inventory is continues to be the problem, where there's just not enough homes to meet the demand out there. You can see now this data is more on the national scale, but you can see that we've yet to, really over the last couple years, get any real amount above that 3.5 months of inventory. And anything in that range is still considered a very strong seller's market. You need at least 6 months or more of inventory to be considered a buyer's market. So we're a ways off from any resemblance of a buyer's market. But reality is, locally here, even in the greater Madison area, our inventory is even lower. We're closer to a month or less on average of inventory. So, that certainly isn't helping things, and that is, of course, continue to put upward pressure on the prices to increase. The other big factor that I don't think is mentioned often enough is new home starts. And you can see that really just long-term average, to meet just consistent demand, we need about 1 million new homes built on an annual basis. And projection is we're going to fall short of that this year, after finally eclipsing that, although barely last year and a little bit more the year before, for the first time. So the final point I want to make is talking about home affordability. Like I said, what's the deal with home affordability? Well, I think the best way to look at this isn't to look at prices that you see, isn't to look at interest rates you might be hearing about, because there's so much fluctuation and fluidity about that, but simply look at it in the way of what's the percentage of how much an average buyer's income is needed to afford a home. And you can see this chart goes back into the 70s, and it shows kind of historically, on average, a buyer or a homeowner should spend about 27% of their income on the principal and interest of their mortgage. And you can see that actually we're just a little bit above that trend line at 29% right now. So when you're thinking about that, is a home affordable? Think about it in that aspect. How much of your income will it take for you to be able to afford the principal and interest? And it should be right around that 27 to 29, maybe low 30% range. And if you're able to do that, odds are you can afford a home, and maybe you should consider that. So if you ever need anything, ever need any perspective, simply give me or my team a call. You can reach us at 608-345-6594, or just give me an email directly at jdholt@kw.com. And I'd love to just have a conversation with you, no obligation to move forward, but just to help you understand really what's going on in the real estate market. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video today, and be well.